Welcome to the Green Zone Podcast, the show that teaches oil and gas executives how to take command of their finances and live in the green. Your host, Jeff Green, from Green Financial Group, will be your financial guide, all while giving you a tour of the most beloved and best-kept secret spots around Houston, Texas. Now, on to the show.
Welcome to the Green Zone with Jeff Green and Lauren Smith of Green Financial Group. I'm Patrice Sikora. No one ever said life was easy, but COVID-19 has forced us to adapt to major changes and uncertainties in social norms, financial markets, the workplace, school, and of course at home. In this episode, Jeff and Lauren address some of the ways they are surviving this pandemic. So tell me, folks, what are you doing that we should know about?
Well, Patrice, I think you set the stage perfectly there. You turn on the TV, the news, and it's nothing but doom and gloom out there. It's virus, COVID, positive tests, deaths increasing. You've got people bickering in Washington nonstop, riots, protests. It's a tough time right now. You're quarantined. You got to wear a mask everywhere you go, if you can even go anywhere in your particular city. So I have a TV in my office, and I had always kept it on the news, Fox News or CNBC or whatever. And it reminded me, this particular time right now is reminding me of 2008. When 2008 came around and the worst financial crisis in 100 years hit, I had the TV in the office then as well. And the news was so depressing. And you had banks that were going to fail and the world was going to collapse. And it really began to affect me in a lot of different ways. It affected my ability to manage money. And so I turned the TV off and I quit listening to all of the nonsense that's coming out of that box. And over the years now, I've kind of gravitated now. I used to turn to watch the Golf Channel. It's just relaxing. And I kind of gravitated back towards the news. Again, it's a depressing thing to listen to. There's three main things that Lauren and I have begun to focus on to just improve our own self-being, which in turn helps us help our clients. So the three things are, it's our mental diet, it is our physical diet, and it is, of course, our nutritional diet. So I want to hit on those three things primarily that has really had a great effect on our outlook on life. So first, let's start with the mental diet. And I kind of hit on that just a minute ago. Turn the TV off. I turn it off. I don't watch the news anymore. It is depressing. There's nothing positive coming out of there. Now, in what I do, I, of course, have to know what's going on in the world. So I scroll headlines to make sure I understand what's happening out there. But the mental diet, I'm not watching the news anymore. I've begun reading a lot of books, back to reading again. And that's always a great thing. And what I read a lot of biographies. I like sports figures, like iconic sports figures. I'm reading Tiger Woods. I read Michael Jordan. And also there's an author out there named Tim Ferriss. I don't know if anybody's heard of this guy. Lauren, how would you describe Tim Ferriss? Is he kind of a hippie guy? I mean, how do you describe this guy? He's amazing.
I don't know. It's almost like you could say he's like the ultimate entrepreneur. He's got his hands in everything, trying to figure out the most efficient way. He's got the book 4-Hour Work Week of just the most efficient way to get things done. He's got Tools of Titans.
So yeah, the 4-Hour Work Week was a book that really changed a lot of how our outlook on business. And we asked ourselves the question, how would we run our business if we were never going to quit working? Or how are we going to live our lives, basically, if we were never going to quit working? And it's had kind of a profound impact on just the way we run things. We make sure that we can manage our business and our clients and everything that we do from wherever we are in the world. And that had a pretty profound impact on us. But Tools of Titans is a really cool book. And
Tribe of Mentors, that was the other one. Tribe of Mentors.
Another great one. And the Tools of Titans, I don't know, he must have interviewed 1,000 different CEOs, these uber performers, the athletes, etc., and just asked them about their routines. What do they do? What do they eat? How's their morning routine? What's their morning ritual like? All of these different things. What books do they read? What apps do they use? And it's a very, very informative book, and you get the outlook from these uber successful people on how they live their lives and the little things that they do that help them along the way. So that's been a lot of fun to do. And believe me,
it's so interesting because it's across all different areas. You've got your athletes, you've got doctors, you've got scientists, CEOs. It's not just one, they're not just focusing on business people. It's across all different areas. So you get so many different perspectives of what makes them feel successful, what they have to do each day to get motivation, to get going. It's really fascinating.
And to just jump in here, you talk about a routine. It's across so many disciplines. Are the routines similar?
some are. I mean, everyone's an early riser, I'll tell you that. And some routines are very similar. They all, we're talking about mental diet right now, they all make sure they have a very strong mental diet. In other words, they're reading something inspirational, spiritual, whatever the case may be. They're doing something that inspires them, or reading something that inspires them to perform better throughout the day. And it has, and I will tell you, it has had, I know a lot of guys that meditate, believe it or not, and it has a profound impact. They've tried to get me to meditate. I just can't do it. I don't know. I can't really sit still for very long, but meditation's hard for me. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me, but it works for a lot of people. And the inspirational reading that you do, the motivational reading that you do will literally change your outlook on life. I highly, highly recommend that. So that's the mental part. The physical part, pretty self-explanatory. We're back in the gym a lot. We're back working out on a regular routine. Lauren likes to walk. She got her little dog, Mamba. She walks that dog everywhere. And
Mamba,
so
Laura?
she's
and
out there.
First thing every morning, I'm taking her for a walk, and it gets the day started. It gives me the opportunity to start focusing on my day, thinking about the things that I've got to do, and prioritize everything. And I used to be a late sleeper, and I would sleep until the very last minute possible. But getting up earlier, walking the dog, and just starting the day with a clear mind, not rushing and just trying to get there, has really made a huge difference for me.
And I'm with you there. And I will say I do meditate in the morning, not for long, about 5-10 minutes. And then the dog gets out and gets a walk. And you're right. It's nice outside at that hour.
It is.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it's 1,000 degrees outside.
Right.
And so the third, of course, is our nutritional diet. And Lauren's a millennial. And now she's got me doing this thing. I don't even know. I'll just let her tell you.
Well, now every morning we're juicing celery. So celery juice is supposed to be the new elixir of life, and it's supposed to do everything, cure everything. It's the end-all, be-all, according to social media at the moment. So we have a juicer at the office, and every day we're juicing celery and getting our celery juice in. And I'll tell you what, so far I'm feeling better and getting a little more energy. Skin's clearing up. I mean,
it's
what's
good
not
stuff.
about
I gotta
that?
say, it really is.
Celery?
And then, of course, celery. Believe it or not,
You got to hold your nose and drink it.
You could add a little lemon to it, helps it some. But it's good stuff. And then of course we try to eat clean at least 4 or 5 days a week, and then we want a pizza on another day, then that's fine. But for the most part, we're eating clean and drinking a bunch of celery.
Wow, that sounds so exciting.
I don't know how
it's
exciting
Corona.
it is,
It's Corona world. You got to find your excitement where you can.
True.
Right.
But now all of this also sounds like it's a bit in moderation too. You're not going overboard. You're still staying up on current events. You're still eating food, you're still...
Absolutely. No, that's a great point, Patrice, because that health in moderation is that what you were alluding to? But yes, I mean, if we want a pizza or a burger, we're going to have it. But for the most part, we're feeding our bodies and our minds with good things, positive things, nutritious things. And I mean nutritious both, for our mental. And for me, a lot of it is the mental side of things, because this can be a pretty stressful industry that we're in. And you add on top of the chaos that is going on in this world right now, and it's enough to bring anybody down. So I think it's important for us all to make sure we have a positive mental diet on a steady basis.
What do the two of you talk about?
The
Me
things
and
that we're
Lauren?
going to do once,
Seriously?
the things that we're going to do once the world opens back up.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, a lot. Really, I'll tell you, we spend a lot of time strategizing on clients. We want to better serve our clients, and so we've enacted a whole. This really has changed. Everything's more digital now. Not everybody wants to meet in person. Certainly some do. And with those clients and prospects that we talk to that want to meet in person, then we absolutely meet them in person. We don't have a problem with it. But some do, and we don't. We respect that, and we've embraced the digital age, and we started doing new little service things for our clients along the way. And we spend a lot of time strategizing on how to better serve our clients.
how are your clients holding up?
Pretty good. A lot of them are social distancing. They are quarantining. They don't get out. Our clientele are typically a little bit older, and they take it serious, as well they should. They only go out to the store, and they make sure they have their masks on, and they kind of stay inside, staying home. But they're all doing well. We're very fortunate. We're glad that all of our clients are healthy and doing well.
Yeah, that's key. Absolutely key. And how are things for you guys at home? I mean, are you getting out a lot? You've mentioned that you're moderating what you're doing, but do you miss it? What do you really miss the most?
Lauren?
I miss being able to just hop on a plane and go somewhere. I mean, I know you can still travel, but it's just not the same right now. Craving a beach trip with a umbrella drink and nothing to do.
Jeff?
That would be nice. I like going out to dinners. I know Lauren does too. And we can do that here in Houston. There's a lot of places that you can go. Federal Grill, by the way, is a great one if you're in town. There's a new Federal Grill in Hedwig Village. I highly, highly recommend that. It's just a lot of people there, just in good food, just enjoying being out. And in Houston, you walk inside of a restaurant or whatever. I don't guess bars are open yet, but if you walk inside to a restaurant, you have your mask on. You go sit down at the table. You can take your mask off if you're eating and drinking. So you get to sit down, but then it's still different. And we talked about this in another podcast, Patrice, if you remember, how the restaurant industry was going to change.
Oh yeah.
And we were dead on. There's no silverware at the tables. There's no salt and pepper shakers at the table. It's almost as if you're sitting at a table that you're not supposed to be sitting at. It's just plain. There's nothing on there. And the other tables are at least 6 feet away. So it's not that communal kind of atmosphere really to me anymore. It's a sterile.
It's not that vibe,
distance.
the vibe you get on a Friday night where everybody's out and it's a loud restaurant and you can tell people are going somewhere afterwards. It's a little quieter because there's less tables and just not the same energy.
and nowhere to go out afterward.
Exactly.
Yeah. And does that stress you?
It doesn't. It saddens me more than anything else. It doesn't stress me. It just saddens me. It saddens me that, I got boys. I got 3 boys, and one of them has to do online learning now until September 8th, and we'll see if that even happens. And another's in college, and I don't think they're going to get the same kind of college experience, at least for this semester. I hope that changes really soon. It saddens me for them. Another son is a senior in high school, and it's just going to be different. It's going to be different for them, and I think it's very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, life in the years of COVID. And I say years because who knows how long this is going to last.
Exactly. I hear you.
I hope.
Or what things change permanently after this. I mean, are salt shakers ever going to be back on tables?
That's right.
There's things like that I don't know if this is setting the precedent for how things go moving forward. And that's what saddens me.
Well, any uplifting comments before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, look, I believe this all to be temporary, and we will go back to some sort of normalcy in our country and our world, and we will be travel again. We will do all of those things again. You can look back at SARS, Ebola, any other pandemic or crisis that's been out there. we've always overcome, and this will be no different. We will overcome this, and we will be back doing the things that we all love to do.
All right, Jeff, Lauren, great thoughts. Thank you so much. To subscribe to The Green Zone with Jeff Green and Lauren Smith of Green Financial Group, use the subscribe button on this page, as usual, and you can also share with friends and colleagues using the share button. I'm Patrice Sikora, and let's talk again later.
Thank you for listening to the Green Zone podcast. Click the subscribe button below to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Green Financial Group. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. Green Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Jeff Green is the founder of Green Financial Group and is a registered principal of RJFS. The Green Financial Group is located at 6363 Woodway Drive, Suite 625, Houston, Texas, 77057, and can be reached at 713-244-3030. Raymond James is not affiliated with and does not endorse the opinions or services of his guests.